Cyber Nation, it's your homie Reddit John. It's been a minute. No excuses on my part. I just take a break on the off season. That's just my thing. I've done it every year. I just don't really post during the off season that much. From time to time, I'll do a video or a live or something like that. But for the most part, I just take a break. But now, season's back. Finally got something I could actually, have a reaction to and have, my own little thoughts and stuff to break down about it. So let's get back at this, guys. First thing I want to talk about is that defense. Not gonna lie, I was a little bit let down. And don't get me wrong, I know we're gonna be a fucking good defense this year. I know we're gonna be a great defense this year. Problem is, in this preseason game, I expected a little bit more. I'm not gonna lie. I expected some sacks. I expected some better, show outs from certain players that, spent limited time on the field, granted. But I just expected dominance. That's the level I hold this defense to. Dominance. In my defense, that's what they were towards the end of last season. Dominant. They were a dominant defense last season at the end. And that's kind of what I want to see now. And to be honest with you, letting the Vikings march down the field like that kind of gave me a little duress. I'm not going to lie. It stressed me out a bit. Ending it on fourth down with a turnover on downs made up for it a lot. That secondary is looking great. That secondary is looking really good. I'm happy with the performance from our secondary, specifically Jack Jones. That guy's going to be good. That guy is... That dude's putting in work, I'll tell you that. The way he cut that route, it looked like he's done it 100 times, and he probably has. The man knows what the fuck he's doing, and I love the attention to detail when it comes to him watching tape and knowing exactly how these guys run their routes and what angle they're going to take when they run it. He had that shit down like he knew exactly where to be. And that's just good fucking football knowledge for you. Got to give it to Jack Jones. Always one hell of a player. I can't wait to see what you do this season, man. If we're talking about the pass rush, that's kind of where I was a little disappointed because, we had the pass rush was there. Don't get me wrong. The pressure was there. Almost every single drive that our starters were in there, they were putting pressure on these motherfuckers. It was evident. Problem was, they weren't getting home. They weren't getting home, man. And yeah, I get it. The other team gets paid too. So they're going to make plays and they're going to, it's man on man. These guys always have a good, solid, script coming right out of the gate. When it comes to playing any team in the NFL, the first drive is always the most difficult because it's scripted. They know exactly what they're going to do. I'm not saying it's scripted like we know who's going to win or all that bullshit. No, I'm saying they have their own set of plays that they're going to, rely on and that they've executed throughout the week that they're going to execute to perfection. And at the end of the day, you got to accept your lumps. I can't get too mad at the way that, first drive ended because let's be real about it. Defense held their own when it came to the red zone and being able to stop people in that area. So I'll give them that. But you get what I mean. This defense, it's good. I expect them to be dominant. That's just my opinion. Truth is, it's their own fault, man. They've shown that they could be that good and that great. You just got to hold it to a high standard now. There is really no other explanation for that. So it's preseason. You got to get the kinks out. So I'm not gonna really get that worked up about it. We'll see what happens. As the season progresses into the regular season games when it actually counts. But I expected a little bit better. Not gonna front. Now the offense did great. They've been getting trashed. I'm talking trash. Don't get me wrong. They got a lot of positives when it comes to Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers, Devontae Adams, of course. Whenever he gets back, I'm pretty sure they're always going to give praise to him. He is who he is. Jacoby Myers has been doing good, but every other single thing is about how bad this offense has been. I mean, every single notice I get about the offense is bad, just negative. Like, oh, they threw a pick. Oh, they threw another pick. Oh, it was a forced fumble on the first possession. Oh, this AOC completed a beautiful pass. But if it was a real game, he would have been sacked. Trey Tucker got behind the defense, but he dropped the ball. Then he dropped it again, and again, and again, and again. Wide receiver went out for a catch, but he got injured. Dude, it's just been nothing but negative that I've been reading out of camp when it comes to our offense. And the way they showed up in this game was actually very surprising. I mean, don't get me wrong. It wasn't like they were world beaters or anything like that. But hey, they put some fucking good tape out on film. The thing I really like about the way this offense was functioning was the way we utilized the tight ends was just amazing. Like, I honestly enjoyed that. I thought that was an element that we lacked last year. Even though we went out and got, Michael Mayer, we did not utilize him like I think we could have. And it just seems like in this offense, we are definitely going to use these guys. We are so good to use these guys. It's going to be like 90% 12 personnel. Now, the other thing I was noticing is the running backs. They're decent. I'm not saying any of these guys are Josh Jacobs. They're not Josh Jacobs. And when it comes to him, I'm going to keep my mouth shut because I like the guy. He was one of my favorite Raiders. The dude's made some statements before he even left the Raiders that bugged me. But when it comes to him, I'm just going to go ahead and let him be. That's besides the point. Our new running back room looks good. I'm happy with it. I'm not excited about it yet, but I'm happy with it. I think that Zeus is going to eat this year. I'm very excited to see what happens. Sincere McCormick, he has some burst to him, man. He was going against third and, four stringers, but hey, you can't really help who you're going against. You just got to perform to the best of your ability, and hopefully you get a chance to go against the ones, and we'll see what that looks like. But I'm really excited. Now let's get to the main course of this video. The quarterback position. Everybody's wondering, who's going to start? Who's going to start for this team? Everybody's wondering. I don't blame anybody that wants to go with Aiden O'Connell. I don't blame anybody that wants to go with Minshew. Because basically, they're the same exact fucking quarterback. Just his positives are his negatives and his negatives are his positives. Literally, that's what I seen on the field. Like, it's two completely different quarterbacks, man. And it's kind of trippy because it's like, what do you want? Like, what exactly do you want? Do you want a quarterback that is very fucking accurate, one that actually, stands taller than average and is able to, hold on to the ball and deliver a strike almost every time he throws the ball? One point he went 5 for 5, Aiden O'Connell on a few passes, man. The dude ended his day with I want to say like 7 of 9, 78 yards or some shit, and led a field goal drive, and he was consistent. It was good. Or do you want someone that is scrambling out of the pocket, doesn't really stay in the pocket as much as he should sometimes, but he's able to make plays with his feet, run for a first down, and then, every now and then he's going to make a boneheaded decision and throw the ball into someone that doesn't see the side blind coming. Like, you know what I mean? That was a fucking medicine ball. I can't even front. Some people were saying, hey, there was another receiver in the area he could have blocked. No, you lead your receiver into the block when you're throwing the ball. That was all on Gardner Minshew. Let's be real about that. But the man had, in my opinion, better rhythm in the offense. It showed specifically when we got into the red zone. But both quarterbacks were good in their own way. But they were so like polar opposites when it comes to like their, pluses and minuses. It was weird. It's very interesting. They're the same quarterback, but they're also polar opposites when it comes to their, positives and negatives. It's funny. Like, he's really mobile. This guy's a statue. This guy's really accurate. He's not as accurate. but he could get you a first down with his legs. It's like one of those, oh, this guy's going to hold on to the ball too long. This guy's going to throw the ball too quick. But it's like, oh my God, there's like so much that goes into this team, man. Minshew, in my opinion, I would actually start with him. That's just my opinion, guys. And I actually stated this before the preseason game, a few months back. I did a live and I said it. I just think Minshew should get the job. Only reason being is I think he did very well in the offense he had with the Colts. Almost got them to the playoffs. Did very good, and I think we have a better, cast around him this time around going into the season. I think we just have better, people to make plays than the Colts did. And that's just my opinion. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, I just think we got better, personnel than they did. And I don't think he's played with someone at this level of Devontae Adams. Let's be real. I don't think he has. Wide receiver wise, I just see nothing but positives. However, last year, I think he didn't do that bad, guys. I mean, 3,305 yards last year, 15 touchdowns. Yeah, there's a couple of plays where he threw a shitload. I mean, a couple of times he threw some interceptions that were some what the fuck was that moments. Every quarterback does, but he had quite a few. Aiden O'Connell, I mean, in 11 games, he had decent numbers too. 2,218 yards. Talking about, like, what was it, 12 touchdowns? I want to say 12 touchdowns. Yeah. I mean, that was what, 11 games? He did all that shit last year, which kind of gave him the first team reps going into camp. But, I mean, in my opinion, Gardner Minshew just looked more fluid out there, all right? And the rhythm was just better with Gardner Minshew, in my opinion. That was like 6 of 12, 117 yards, and a touchdown. But he also coordinated a touchdown drive where we ran the ball in. And, that's all you can ask is someone to actually, get us points. Get the points up on the board. The more points, the better. Let's not argue about this, guys. I like AOC, and I think AOC is one hell of a player when it comes to accuracy, when it comes to actually getting the ball where it needs to be. You see him putting the ball exactly where it needs to be when he actually got time in the pocket. Problem is, I don't know if he's going to have time in the pocket. It just seems, in my opinion, that the Raiders moved the ball better when Minshew was in there. But then again, maybe he was going against, second stringers. Maybe he was going against third stringers when he came in. He did get the ball second. That's why I think this next preseason game, you need to start Minshew with the first team. Go against another first team. See where you're at. Because we already seen what AOC did. He marched down the field and looked great. Minshew just looked like he had more rhythm with the team. And yeah, it's probably a recency bias because you see him later on. Brown looked like trash. I'm not gonna lie, but the kid isn't a starter, guys. That's something you should expect when you get to him. The team is probably going to rely mostly on running the ball. So if he were to just hand the ball off and run, run when he needs to and stuff like that, that's all we would probably need from him if we actually got to the point where we need the third quarterback to come in. Just go to RPO, just Tebow that shit. I don't fucking know, but basically that's all we would ask of him anyways. Run the ball when you can, small completion, stuff like that, simple shit. So that's not something I'm worried about when it comes to Brown. But as for these quarterbacks, man, I mean, I'm okay with either one of these guys getting the reins. I personally think Minshew should start. I even said that before the preseason game, so that was just my opinion. But you know what? We'll see what happens. AOC could come back and throw for 3 touchdowns in one quarter next week. I don't fucking know. And then I'll probably be like, okay, this guy won the job. Yeah, but truth is, guys, this team, this offense, this defense, it has potential this year. This team doesn't want potential. They want to be great now. And that's the mentality that I see from a lot of the players during the offseason when I was watching all these videos on them. Like, that's what they expect. So, with that said, we'll see what we do in this next one. Y'all know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Go Raiders.